Thus far we have looked at the first of the four commentaries that Rashi provides to Bereshit 45:23, in which we have the items that Yosef sent to his father. We noted that on the surface at least, Rashi seems to be addressing the superfluous kazot of the pasuk, and accordingly the translation of the phrase Ula Aviv Shalach Kazot would be that he, Yosef, sent the following to his father. In rejecting this surface reading of Rashi, the Rebbe noted that the text could have eliminated the word kazot without any change whatsoever to the information provided by the pasuk. Furthermore, even if we were to argue that the kazot informs us that he, Yosef, sent this and nothing else, other than that which is listed in the pasuk, this reading of Rashi was also rejected by the Rebbe on the basis that there would be no reason to have considered the possibility that Yosef would send items not listed specifically in pasuk 23, for which we would require a kazot to set the record straight. 10 male donkeys, 10 female donkeys, and mazon. Even if we were to work through the inclusion of the word zot, there is another issue, and that is that the wording of the pasuk is not zot, but kazot, which literally translates as like this. And there are Mefarshei Rashi who suggest that it is the superfluous chaf that Rashi is addressing in his commentary. And that is that Yosef did not actually send 10 donkeys, but rather items that would require 10 male donkeys to transport to Yaakov. This approach requires somewhat of a shuffle, but the translation would work as follows. La'aviv shalach mituv Mitzrayim. In the wagons, and these were the wagons that were mentioned in the previous pasukim, Yosef sent the best of Egypt to his father. Kazot asara chamorim noseim. And that the amount of the Tuv Mitzrayim, the best that Egypt had to offer, would have theoretically required 10 male donkeys to carry. With this novel approach, the Kazot would suggest that Yosef did not send 10 male donkeys, nor possibly 10 female donkeys. In actuality, the Tuv Mitzrayim, the bar, the lechem, the mazon were transported in the wagons supplied by Pharaoh. And this, according to the Mefarshei Rashi, is read into Rashi's commentary, eliminating the superfluous kazot, that we are here dealing not with actual donkeys, but the cheshbon, the number of animals that would have been required had they not had the wagons. In the SICHAH and in the footnotes, the Rebbe rejects this novel approach to the interpretation of Rashi's commentary. Firstly, the wording that Rashi uses, Kacheshbon hazeh, seems to emphasize the number, not the carrying ability of the 10 male donkeys. Furthermore, from the standpoint of Pshuto Shel Mikra, if Rashi is going to deviate from the plain, straightforward narrative, as is suggested with the novel approach, then at the very least Rashi should have highlighted that change somewhere in his commentary, which he does not, emphasizing instead the cheshbon refers to the 10 donkeys. And thirdly, in response to the suggestion that Rashi is forewarning the superfluous chaf, it could be argued, as does the Ramban and the Gur Aryeh, that the use of a chaf in this context is not an invalid format, and 3 examples can be brought to demonstrate that this is so. The first, when Eliezer meets Rivka for the first time at the well, informs her of his mission to find a husband for Yitzchak, she runs back and informs her mother what Eliezer had told her. Terminology used in the Chumash is Vataged lebeit imma ka devarim ha'ele. A second example, following the unsuccessful attempt at seducing Yosef, the wife of Potiphar informs her husband of her version of the story. The wording in the Chumash is Vatadaber elav kadevarim ha'ele, with a chaf prefix. And thirdly, also related to Yosef, is when Shimon challenges Yosef, who had accused his brothers of treason. Shimon says, Lama yidaber Adoni kadevarim ha'ele. Once again, a chaf prefix. Chalila la'avdecha mi'asos kadavar hazeh. And therefore, for this reason, we are still left with the core question, what is it about the Chumash narrative that required a commentary from Rashi? Kecheshbon hazeh.